2015 type shit. What the fuck was wrong? Was it when
Yo, of course, I'm not going to take long. Looking back at past details, I'm not going to go into detail on different things, but as you saw, one of the many Instagrams I actually have has been attacked, and they thought they did something. And I showed you how they try and celebrate over doing these little things. That's where intentions are. I'm showing you, when I send you these and I put these up, I'm showing you how they try and throw little celebrations amongst each other because they attack the page or something. I want you to see who they truly are. And now that you've seen it, we're going to look at past receipts, okay? And we're going to examine it up till now. And maybe you'll get a little bit of a sense how the fear is setting in on people who's not really true. Isn't it crazy how a lot of the people, when you're dealing with them, they try and say, oh, real or fake X fans? Who defines a fan? Who has the right to define a fan? What's the criteria of defining who's a real fan or not? Because I could say people are fake for making companies. I could say people are fake for just being on a T page posting pictures and not really actually searching to find out what happened. I could call you fake, but do I ever go to that extent? No. I say you got something to hide because of your behavior towards someone who's actually looking into details. Now, we're going to make this swift and painless. And I'm going to show you some prior things in the addressing. Now, tell me, does anyone remember this? Again, I want you to listen closely. These are the same people, okay?
CommenterNation, greatest nation, stand up. I do a quick to explain everybody what's going on.
And I want to show you the like to dislike ratio that happens with them normally.
You know, the T pages like Instagram, the type of pages that go on.
So me getting the likes is nothing new, but the dislikes, when they get to that, there's something personal on it.
Back and forth, you see it time after time. It seems that one of the individuals behind what's happening is actually interfering. Now, let me explain what I'm telling you guys. And this is about to get deep.
And this was months ago.
So you remember how I told you the suspect's mother would be going live, right? It turns out that one of these people that is moving these T pages happens to be someone I blocked, okay? Let me tell you why I blocked them.
Fact. Listen to me. This was going on back then when I was talking about the case, revealing stuff then. How do you think they feel now that they haven't deterred anything? Think about that. Months and months ago, these are the same group, same women, same people that have been trying to block me from telling the truth about things, from speaking about things objectively, not carrying the narrative they want me to. How do they feel right now that they haven't done anything to the movement? How does it feel? So what's the next thing they do? They attack and make up stuff. They mess business up. They try and do other little things, as we knew you would. They try and create narratives. Oh, you're harassing the people. Now, I screenshot it. I'm not going to read it verbatim. One of the people linked to this little group that they talked to behind the scenes not only made a verbal threat, but they insinuated bad things happen to people on the internet if they say things. This is the same type of women harassing baby mothers. The only thing is, I'm no one's baby mother. I'm not a woman like you. That doesn't mean nothing to me, even if you're talking about other men. That means nothing. And if they're smart, the man, if who you call a man around you smart, they know what place they should be in. See, we carry ourselves certain ways. I can't help you're around people who think they're men and may not carry themselves as men. But I can tell you, your threats mean nothing. And then you saying something about law or something, what does that mean? You've already taken it to a new level. The moment you threaten the physical violence and then threaten the bad stuff happening, you know, by law in this state, just thinking you're approaching me, I'm rightfully the grip up. And only a person who totes knows what grip up means. Legally, I can grip up. Because if I think you're approaching me, you've already insinuated what you're looking to do. So I'm going to take your word serious, and I'm going to do exactly what I have to do. See, that's what they don't think. They want to try and intimidate, but you don't understand. You can intimidate someone who's never been at war. Let me repeat this. You can intimidate someone that's never been in war, because they're going to take what you say and they may think about it differently. I take what you say and I see what you are. I see the cowards you are. What you did, we expected you to do that. Why do you think every single T page hit the receipt that I was talking about right after you did that? You're an idiot. You're doing what we want you to do every time against your will. You're going to keep doing what we want you, because I led you down this path in the first place when I first noticed you existed. All I needed to know is you existed. Then I made the prior precautions along with the receipts I have. None of that's linked to an Instagram. I could still blast you at any given moment. You could wake up and I'm on here giving them something new. We set you guys up to do this because we know who you are. We know what your intentions are. We know your goals. With that said, back to this. Same people, I'm addressing them months prior to now. Listen.
I blocked them because they were calling me a liar and different things when I was talking about pertinent information. And I blocked them because it seems like they were interfering for the betterment of someone else. So,
and they still are. The betterment of who though? Now I figured out who though. You see, then I just knew they were doing this for someone. It was odd. It was strange. Now I disclosed to you who they're doing it for, why they're doing it, okay? The mutiny of the estate. I explained that to you, okay? See, I was Czarr before y'all showed up. See, the thing is, you didn't watch my work, so you thought you were dealing with someone normal. I've done this with every case, to the point people you wouldn't believe spoke up. You didn't know I spoke on Scottie Pippen's wife at that time? And did you see how many people reacted? You're really not up to date, are you? Let me get a bit deeper, because they're good and together. The way you're looking to get in this situation, it's nothing good or together about it. You're fighting amongst each other. So you think you're going to do war with a totally different team when you're fighting amongst each other, trying to blackmail, trying to do stuff. If you're going to do war, your side better be completely legit and clean. And I know you're not. Matter of fact, I have someone who's already exposed you're not. Publicly, without me saying nothing. Now remember what I said. Every time I tried to reveal something, they acted. You just confirmed everything I said, dummy, because you went to try and attack my page after I disclosed something directly about you. So you confirm everything that's said. You think it hurts a movement, but no, you confirm how fake you are and what you're really up to. You're not thinking. I'm helping you think right now because you're not thinking. You're not looking at the people around you. You're not looking at what they're into. You don't know you got people with stalking charges around you, fraud charges, different names around you. You don't got people dipping and dodging names, discarding names, getting new names. You don't know that's around you. Really? You don't know you have people around you and with you that are part of a nonprofit. Now, here's the thing. You could be as legit as you want. But if we delve into the nonprofit on how the funds were spent and what was done with the nonprofit money you're receiving, you'd have to cook your books. You'd have, I repeat, for a nonprofit organization to look legit. That's one thing. But the second thing is how your money's being spent. You'd have to cook your books. You have to. And you can't get away with that. There's certain symbols. Because see, what you don't know is I learned from a person that dealt with booking, that admitted to cooking their books before that, showed me how it goes, and showed me why 99% of people fail at doing it. I learned that. You have a nonprofit. You're on here outline reaching out to his fans. For what? Because they need help. They can't get it professionally. They need you as the middleman. Do you see where you fall short of having been someone placed in position of even trying to come against me? It makes no sense. Matter of fact, it's senseless. You can't even show yourself in a video face to face with me without hiding the tone of your voice. You can't do it. Therefore, your war is meaningless. Every war comes with a leader's face. Who are you going to put on a chopping block for me to end? That's the question. Who are you putting up on the chopping block? And I know low-key you tried. Guys, remember the guy in the pink book bag who deleted his? They put him in place to do it. I knew y'all did that. I knew. That's why I blasted him like I did. I knew. Matter of fact, let me go one step further. You want to tell me he's not related to somebody? I dare you to tell me he's not related to somebody. He's not. He's not. No relations. Oh, he didn't know Panama. Stop playing with me. You're all in it together. So if you're all rising together, all of you need to fall together. All of you. Okay? It's not just one of you. All of you need to fall together. Whoever's cooking your books or whoever you're going to do it, they're going to fail at doing it. There's one thing you can't change, and there's only one thing you got to do on the side to hide it. And they're going to think they know it, and I know they don't know it. Because I'm talking to a 10 to 20 year veteran versus your person. You can't hide these things. See, there's a lot you can't hide. Then when I start showing them the messages dealing with people related to the situation, you're going to think that doesn't matter, but it means a lot, especially when Cleo knows about it in detail and other people around you know about it. You're using blackmail holding over people's heads. You attempted it with me. How aren't you attempting it with others? I don't even know you like that, and you attempted it with me. So people you think you know, you don't attempt it. Think of the logic. Think of the logic. I've been. Let me repeat this. I been. Whatever you want to call, I've been it. You're just getting accustomed to this thing. Social media is what I do. I'm from the hate room. Your hate is my fuel. Matter of fact, I wake up looking for you to hate, and you still haven't figured that out. You're still giving me the fuel I need. I wake up praying you guys are hating. I pray. I'm like, God, please let one of them hate. And you're doing it. I'm like, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. You're hating. That's what I need. They still haven't figured it out. But I want you to watch very closely. Patreon, watch closely. What I'm going to be doing for you the rest of this week, behind the scenes, I'm going to connect all the dots. It's going to be an aha moment when you see these people for who they truly are. I want you to see, because remember, minors were involved at attacking other socialites' pages. What I'm seeing is old, decrepit people corrupting minors into making them do their bidding because they don't have the heart to do it no more. They're so later on in life that some of them catching one more charge. Tell me if I'm wrong, enemies, tell me if I'm wrong. Catching one more charge sends you away for at least a decade, especially if it's a felony. That's a fact. We know this. I told you we know who you are. We know what's going to happen if you get caught doing the things you do. So you corrupt the mind of minors and young adults too to think something, but act still their age. If a woman has an issue with me addressing a topic, why doesn't she address the topic? But she hits me up in my DMs making threats, saying, oh, you'll get hurt over this. That's not an adult. So you didn't train them, you threw them into the fray, which makes me think there's something in it for them. And I'll get into that behind the scenes with my Patreon members. Do you see how calm I am? I've always been in touch with the right people throughout the whole situation. We're well aware of what you're doing. We're well aware of your communication on the backside, your little chats, all of that. Because what you don't understand, when you move fake as you, I'll always have someone on the inside of your little circle. Let me repeat this. When you move as fake as y'all do, I will always have someone on the inside of your circle because you're fake. You're fake. You live a fake life off of a deceased man. You want to frame me for things that have nothing to do with me. That's a felony in itself. Framing somebody for a crime you're committing, the harassment of others, that's a pretty deep crime. I have literally direct communication from multiple people I already connected to you, attempting to say stuff. And when I say I don't really, let's say this. Someone asked me, are you getting threats? Well, yes, I am. But am I threatened? No. Because if I move like them, they wouldn't be around here anymore to even watch this. Because that's why I gotta protect myself. Because the people with me are authentic. They're not gonna play with you. They're not gonna buddy with you. They're not gonna spare it. They're not gonna spare you in the situation. That's why I gotta stay real about it. So I speak honestly to my audience. I speak honestly to the people that feel threatened, that show me the type of things you're saying to them. Because I know what's going to happen to you over those threats you've made. See, guys, when I say it's deeper and let's get a bit deeper, it's not just what I'm saying. It's that I'm opening you up mentally to what actually is occurring right before your face. And I don't react before I know they're going to do something like attack my page like that, because it just confirms for you what I told you is actually happening. If I was so wrong, if I was so off base, why would they even care? Think about that. Why would they care? He's delusional. When a person's delusional in a room, do we even acknowledge their existence? No, you ignore them. But they just can't seem to ignore me. Doesn't that make you think, why can't they ignore this guy? He's so fraudulent, so fake, so many rumors, such a lie. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. But you can't ignore it. Can't ignore it. Yeah, we know you can. And it was tailored that way for you to not ignore it. See, what you think is that I alone am watching this. And if you never heard of someone or seen someone, ain't nobody else watching. On the contrary, they're watching very intently, putting respect where it's due, because we put in work. Don't worry. Don't worry. You didn't know what you were doing. You just did it. Everyone makes mistakes, but there are levels of mistakes that have to be addressed, especially when it comes to direct threats of violence, threatening and blackmailing someone's mother, someone's family. Those type of things cannot be ignored. You should know how to behave yourself better. And if your mother didn't teach you, your father didn't teach you, that's none to any of us. Sadly, it's just sad you couldn't ignore. That's the thing. All you had to do was ignore it. You guys are behind the scenes just trying to figure out how to get rid of the media that comes out, how to block it, how to put fraudulent charges on it. Every bit of everything you've done to do this, you will pay for it. Now remember, I told a few of you you pay for something and you did. But no, you all will pay for it. And it has nothing to do with, oh, he's getting the law. Why would I get it if they're here watching? Who do I need to get? Who am I going to get? But let me tell you this right now. And maybe this will sink in a little bit harder on people claiming to be a lawyer, claiming they know law. Did you ever think, even let's say even you trying to get personal information about me and stuff, did you ever think they wanted you to do that so you could reveal it, so they can have a charge on you to finally take you down? You didn't think that? You see, guys, this situation is way bigger than what's going on here. There are people who sadly are old, fugitive in their behaviors. Old, like decrepit old, not near our age, old criminals. They see them, they know them, they've read it, all the text. They're on go. What is it you're trying to prove now? You can't ignore it. You just can't ignore it no matter what. Can't ignore it. You confirmed yesterday. You confirmed now. You'll confirm tomorrow. Because we want you to. You'll always do what we want you to. Because you're old criminals that want to get it off the back of a young man we know as Tentacion. Don't hide, don't cape, don't cap. You already know what you are. So what is it you're clinging to life for? What is it you say you have to live for if all you want to do is use your life to harass and destroy others? What is it you're living for? That's the only, Czarr can think of everything else. The one thing I can't think of is why you think you need to keep living your life to harass others, because somebody's your big break. Finally, you caught a big break in life, right? Well, what if that doesn't pan out? Do you still think you deserve to be around? These are adult, this is real adult talk to you that someone obviously hasn't had with you. You live your life like common trash. Speak as high and mighty. Live as high and mighty, but off the destitute of someone else. Isn't it funny? You even have to make money off of someone in a casket. That sound a bit weird to you? No, I think it sounds perfectly fitting. Matter of fact, I think all of it's so fitting that all of you got your first warning shot from all the T pages releasing the receipt I spoke about. Even though you attacked my page, they had it. Every time you mess around, you're going to give another signal to these other T pages that know what's up. And it's just going to get worse for y'all. That I can assure you. You're just going to give the signal. When I said the greatest nation since United Nations, y'all thought I was playing, didn't you? That's the most interesting thing. You could put something right in the face of the smartest person that's attacking, harassing, bullying. They'll look around it and try and cause harm, try and do this, try and do that, without any thought of the consequence of attacking a person who's minding their business. Freedom of speech. I'm well within my constitutional rights. The picture I showed on Instagram, it was a public picture. Public. So if it's on a public website, it was posted by someone. Now we even know the time period it was up before I even reposted it. So to attack it, through Instagram, you can get away with it. But what was said to me first and foremost after, you can't escape that. Matter of fact, that red flags you. Now, you already were flagged to the FBI by FBI people. It had nothing to do with me. Why'd you think they'd even respond, dummy? They already seen and knew what you were doing. So what you did was, now that we know you're associated with these people in the T pages, you're the rat that took the poison back to the nest. Let me repeat that one. You're the rat that took the poison back to your nest. Now we know you're all in collusion, all of you. The question is, who are you in collusion for? That's where it can get objective. I'm too kind to you guys for you to hate me that way. That's why I get respect with these other T pages. They know what's up. They know how chill I am, that I'm truly out for justice. Do you know how many conversations I had? If you wait till you see the conversation I had with the individual with Rolling Stones, it was sincere. There were certain questions that were asked that were crazy. And even at that time, I knew the answer, but they were crazy nonetheless. Stay respectful. But these T pages, under the leadership of affiliates of a nonprofit, cannot seem to get it together. What is the reason? Why so serious? Why so hostile? I'm not hostile. The only time you saw my hostility is when I spoke on Kid Trunks, because he was wrong for what he did. Why so serious? That's the key question. You know we know why, but I'm asking you. Your business, everything about you, so authentic. You're the realest thing out. But why so serious? Aren't you looking for justice like me? Or do you not care? Are you looking to protect assets? Are you looking to protect the mutiny on the estate? Which one is it? The moment you hit me up and you mentioned everything about his mother's businesses to me, I knew you were out for a mutiny on the estate. I just didn't have time to mention you. The guys told me, stay the course. They said, stay the course. I was like, this is a woman that took my personal information and is giving it back to me like she's blackmailing me or she's trying to send it to someone. I said, even one of the fake witnesses we spoke to, guys, had my information of my background and my history. She didn't even know my full name. They said, stay the course. They said, if it happens, it happens. You know how you're wired. You know how you were trained to move. They told me this. They said, if anything happens, we'll take care of her. And I believe them till this day. I believe they're going to take good care of you the way you need to be. If anything happens to the mother, to going on with me or anything, all you do is harass and threaten. But you sometimes don't know who you're truly harassing and threatening. You don't know. A lot of information is not public. Don't you know a lot searchable public, but not all the information dealing with a person's true occupation, what they really are involved in, who we're really connected to. Oh, I hint it all the time. You're just too retarded to see it. No disrespect to anyone dealing with the Down syndrome things. So let me recorrect it. You're too stupid to see that. You're saying things to someone who has worked hard, has been noted, has gained respects from the very cops you run to from what I do. So tell me this, riddle me this. They know what I'm out here doing. They've seen the videos. How do you explain the direct threats of violence linked to people around you? How do you expose to FBI them running back and being safe up under you when they're committing felonious crimes off of nonprofits, things? Governments eat that stuff up. 40,000 a head. I even hint to you the thing to dodge. 40,000 a head for you. That's more money than they'll get out of going for your nonprofit. Just locking you up is 40,000 a head. Y'all don't get it yet. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than rap. The moment this man left the earth, all the leeches came out and they're leeching off of him. It has nothing to do with his friends. Basically, it has a lot to do with the new baby mother and all the other people around making threats at me for her while mentioning her. That's a fact. You know how many receipts I have of you guys mentioning her and threatening me? Why? And you don't show yourself. I have other guys here you've made threats to. They've given it to me. So it's not just me. And most of the threats, and we can argue the mentality, but the reasoning, that can never be argued because we now know it's mutiny on an estate. We know this. We know this. You see, before you spoke about legal this, legal that, you should have kept your mouth closed and not said certain things to people. That's where you fall short. And that's where it begins to set in your mind that maybe if you said nothing and ignored the delusional guy, you would have got away with it too. If it wasn't for those meddling CommenterNation forever people. And for this one, you know what, Jen? I'm not even going to have you in this one. Because what can you really help with these guys that are grown adults making a decision to say the things they say? Matter of fact, you're young. They're listening to you and they're old as dirt. Old as dirt. Listening to you. But doing these things to people younger than them. It really makes me think about your life. What made you think this was appropriate to do? Whether over the internet, whether in your real life, whether around you, and to think some sort of judgment isn't waiting for you for what you've done to others. It's sick. I now know exactly why some of the baby mothers I spoke to that showed me proof were hurt, were scared, were crying. Because if they knew nothing about social media, if they didn't know people that move, shake, and pop in the industry, they wouldn't be able to deal with that type of thing. But see, we actually know people. So we actually get an idea of your character every time we hear you speak, because people say things and we validate it or say, nah, they're not right. Look how calm and intelligently I speak to you. Now you truly should understand I was aware of you since the beginning. You took the bait once again, like you always do, you always will. You always will. Because I set you to be that way. The moment our voices locked, you were trained to do that. See, you talk to these other guys who do black magic and spells. You're truly talking to a Jedi. You're going to do what I want you to do, when I want you to do it, how I want you to do it. Oh, and by the way, I need you to do something else. You're going to do it. Whether you like it or not, whether I tell you or not, I need you to do something else, and you're going to do it. You don't have a choice. You're going to do it. Trust me. You're going to do it. Because I want you to. Now, with that all said, in the swift part of this first receipt played, so you understand the one thing I was duped on, till I realized relations, okay? That I was like, oh. It wasn't like it was, oh, got it. Understand certain people in this world are trained to understand and acknowledge certain things. To you, I may be insignificant, but to others, I mean a lot. And the others just isn't someone that shares my bloodline. The others was built off of an oath. You know what an oath is? No, it wasn't protect and serve, dummy. My oath was greater than that. It was an oath of love, charity, and esteem. That's how I move. I display love to all my viewers in my nation. I display charity whenever I'm giving help to people behind the scenes you're threatening. My esteem comes from me being trained, fine-tuned. When life started with your mother not being alive, you learn a lot about yourself. When life starts with your mother not being alive, you learn a lot about yourself. I may yearn for that motherly instinct, so that's how you're able to work your way in. And my respect for women is so great, and you can take advantage of that. Lying in business, saying I say things I didn't, throwing out slick threats, slick words, and not getting a reaction out of me. That's my respect for women. That's how I respect my mother if she was still here, alive today. But I'm going to tell you this. That fatherly and manly instinct, that's what I know. So when it comes to the games, I'm very short on them. When it comes to my patience, it's great. When it comes to this team and everybody else I respect, it's all rights reserved, not just yours, not just your greed, getting it off of X's name. None of that. It's all rights reserved. You can play with it if you want, but you're going to see the meaning of what that means. That's what I'll stand on. It's not your rights above anyone else's. Not you having been up here taking the risk, telling the truth. You didn't do none of that. You just sit back and criticize like a coward does. You're not going to step up to say nothing unless you're hiding your voice, hiding your face, cutting and erasing stuff. It's all rights reserved, and I stand for it. I'm the symbol of it. Keep playing your little games. But when you think of it, it's because I wanted you to do it. I wanted it.